Thank you. Ms. Radewagen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I welcome the panel. Thank you for your appearance today. Ms. Bradley, before VA compiled the documents to satisfy this committee's request, have you or anyone else at VA ever compiled all of these settlement agreements into one place for a nationwide review so you could see the overall cost to the taxpayers?
I have not.
Ms. Bradley, has any thought been given to doing what it is I asked about? In other words, you say nothing's been compiled, but has any thought been given to such a possibility?
Well, I don't want the committee to believe that nothing's been compiled. You asked me if my office, I'm in the Office of General Counsel, we didn't compile that data. We don't track the total number of payouts. I think that it's fair to say that the administrations are very attentive and track that information, as they should, because again, these are business decisions and the money comes out of their operating budget. I would say what I track as the General Counsel is, can we show our veterans, can we show the American people, can we show this committee that when we uncover wrongdoing, whether it's racial discrimination or whether it's whistleblower retaliation or something along those lines, can we show the American people that we will hold those wrongdoers accountable? That is what I've been really focused on doing in my office, focused on doing it in our training, focused on doing it with respect to the stand-up of the office in my shop called the Office of Accountability Review, ensuring that we have put really top-notch investigators on the Office of Accountability Review so they can provide to us competent investigations with sound evidence so that when we take these actions, we won't have them overturned. Those are some of the things that my office and that I personally have been focused on.
And speaking as my previous job as a medical center director, that was a fundamental piece of what I looked at regularly with the rest of the leadership team was, for example, the number of EEO complaints that we have, the number of labor grievances, those sort of human resource indicators that would give us a sense of the health of the organization.
And from a VBA perspective, we do the same thing at the district. Obviously, we're probably a fraction of the size of VHA, so we can look even closer at those agreements from a enterprise level. So at each of our districts, as well as in our Office of Resolution Management within VBA, we do that same thing.
Mr. Bachman, what level of transparency do you have into whether employees who retaliate against whistleblowers are properly disciplined?
As I said, our first mission, our primary responsibility at OSC is to make sure we're helping to protect whistleblowers. And through that, we have been using settlement agreements with the VA to make sure that they're able to get back on their job, continue serving veterans. And that's really needed to be our primary responsibility. At the same time, however, we have really been working to improve actions on the disciplinary front to help the VA improve accountability there. And to that end, we've got these several ongoing disciplinary action investigations I've mentioned. But I think an important one to point out is that over the last few years, the VA has disciplined over 40 VA employees who were implicated in wrongdoing that was brought to light by VA whistleblowers who would come to OSC to make their whistleblower disclosure there. And I think that's an important point because it shows the role that whistleblowers as well as OSC can take in helping the VA to improve their accountability. 2 of those 40 folks that the VA has disciplined, those involved removals of high-level officials at the Fort Collins, Colorado facility, which was struggling with the wait time manipulation problem there. So I think there has been an ability to take some accountability, not always through the strict litigation sense, but through other coordination between OSC and VA.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you very much, Ms. Radewagen.